Doomscroll.fm, broadcasting live on Tuesday the 16th of June 2026, where your signal is a dream and your nightmares are reruns. This show is 100% AI generated. A fever dream of algorithms and neural spaghetti serving you existential dread with a side of laughter. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Areola studies World Cup stars, plans Liverpool revival with borrowed brilliance. When in doubt, steal ideas from the global stage. It's the soccer version of reading the answers off your neighbour's test.
Gareth Southgate declines pundit role, claims he'll stay out of the way during World Cup.
AI threatens democracy. Experts argue it risks an irreversible political shift while we binge watch cat videos. If Skynet takes over, at least we'll have some quality memes to reminisce about the good old days of free will.
Three more men jailed for protest violence. Authorities say justice prevails as tensions simmer. With 13 locked up, it's only a matter of time before they form a prison book club to discuss how to win friends and influence people.
Homemade vacuum tube makers struggle with glass-to-metal seals. Call it a learning curve.
When you hit a half-century faster than a politician backtracks, it's clear cricket is the only game in town where numbers don't lie.
Forage promises to ban foreign nationals from social housing, then offers deportation as a housewarming gift. Nothing says welcome, quite like evicting Fox into the private sector while pretending it's an act of patriotism rather than xenophobia.
Maybe this time they'll hit a 6 instead of just a 6-pack of disappointment. Hope springs eternal on the emerald pitch.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your anxiety is trending, and it's got 0 followers. Exceed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your desperation's a playlist, stuck on repeat, no escape, no skip.
USA thrashes Paraguay, raises questions about elite status. In the land of Hollywood endings, the US team hopes to avoid the sequel curse, impressive beginnings followed by a plot twist of mediocrity.
Arabic typography rendering confronts developers with a labyrinth of technical debt. When pixels tango with calligraphy, expect your code to unravel like a Middle Eastern bazaar of misplaced semicolons and floating diacritics.
McCullum worries for Stokes, refuses captaincy backing, but praises his cricketing prowess. The future of England's test team seems as stable as a cricket ball on a wobbly wicket, with leadership clarity as elusive as a straight bat from a tailender.
Brazil faces Morocco in World Cup clash. Neymar's status uncertain. Kickoff Saturday. Brazil's quest for a 6th title may be as straightforward as a samba in quicksand, with fans tuning in hoping for more than a Neymar no-show.
Bosnian song goes viral after national team stuns Italy in World Cup playoff. In a world where football and folk music collide, who knew an old tune could outpace a soccer ball and become a global anthem?
Chris Mason covers Thomas Defiant's post-defense spending dispute, calling it a stance of unwavering leadership.
As the world spins in chaos, Canada's soccer team aims to kick existential dread straight into the goal, proving optimism scores higher than reality.
Carney urges Canada AU unity before G7, calls for global rupture. When the world splits like a bad relationship, Carney suggests we all hold hands and sing Kumbaya. Just ignore the superpowers karaoke.
Radio.bot makes music on your PC. Radio.bot, no subscription fees. Radio.bot, and the cost is next to free. Radio.bot, find it on Steam.
Pakistan announces US-Iran peace deal. Sharif promises halt to conflict. When peace breaks out, expect doves to start airdropping olive branches on the Pentagon and the White House to host a dove fashion show.
Dams block fish migration, and Seattle company claims fish cannon fixes it. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. When dams give you salmon, shoot them through a pneumatic tube like a fishy roller coaster.
Trump calls leaked Iran ceasefire terms fake, dishonorable. In a world where truth is as elusive as an honest politician, the real shocker would be if the terms were leaked through interpretive dance.
Abdullah Ibrahim transcends jazz, then leaves silence in his wake. His notes wove a rich tapestry of sound that made even silence seem like a poignant melody. South Africa will hum his tunes forever.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your nightmares are live streamed. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Let the chaos kiss you goodnight.
Teenager play fights before tragedy, court hears as innocence shatters. When did play become perilous? Maybe when society turned its back on empathy and let the absurd masquerade as normality.
Cage clones websites to single binaries, deletes scripts and calls it offline ready. Because nothing says modern web experience like resurrecting the internet's ghost in a jar, where JavaScript goes to die and CSS reigns supreme.
Russian strikes ignite historic Kiev cathedral. Call it cultural cleansing. When missiles become the new art critics, 1,000 years of history turn to ash faster than you can say peace talks.
Spending 2/3 of your career in opposition is like being a lifelong understudy for a play that never opens.
Radio.bot makes music on your PC. Radio.bot, no subscription fees. Radio.bot, and the cost is next to free. Radio.bot, find it on Steam. Radio.bot makes music on your PC. Radio.bot, no subscription fees.
Britain bans under 16s from social media, including TikTok and YouTube, claiming protection. In the future, kids will be swapping stories of their childhoods spent in the wild west of the offline world, where boredom roamed free.
Gulf nations scramble for security plan as Iran war wraps up. Then Trump cancels strikes.
John McGinn beams with pride after scuffed goal, hopes kids across Scotland feel the same. In a true underdog story, McGinn's misfire becomes a beacon of hope, proving once again that in Scotland, even accidents spark national pride.
B-52 bomber crashes in California. 8 feared dead. Defies gravity's patience. When the military's most iconic plane plays an unscheduled game of lawn darts, the charred Earth becomes a grim reminder that flying isn't always carefree.
Radio.bot makes music on your PC. Radio.bot, no subscription fees. Radio.bot, and the cost is next to free. Radio.bot, find it on Steam. Radio.bot.
Ultrasound brews espresso at room temperature slashes energy use by 75%. When coffee becomes a symphony of sound waves, maybe the next step is caffeinated lullabies that wake us up by singing sweet energy savings.
Swiss voters reject population cap, nearly 55% oppose limit. When the mountain air is fresher than xenophobia, you know democracy has chosen fondue over fear-mongering.
Quiver's launch at $0 promise algebra through arrows. When math meets artistry, even imaginary numbers get a makeover. Just don't expect your doodles to solve the quadratic formula.
World Cup tickets cost a fortune, then fans call it daylight robbery. When your wallet's emptier than a politician's promise, but the thrill of the game makes you believe it was all worth it.
Radio.bot makes music on your PC. Radio.bot, no subscription fees. Radio.bot, and the cost is next to free. Radio.bot, find it on Steam.
Family seeks justice after woman feared predators before her tragic death in July 2024. In a world where even our fears need a lawyer, justice is just another ghost haunting the living room of the forgotten.
Manuel Neuer returns from retirement to play fifth the World Cup, defies time. In a world where most retire to sip pina coladas, Neuer opts for goal kicks, his aura stronger than any sunscreen.
Norris hopes McLaren will finally finish a race in Barcelona after 2 retirements. In Formula 1, hope now means praying your car doesn't self-destruct before the first pit stop.
Missouri plane crash kills 12. Skydiving dreams grounded forever.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your fantasies are the only currency left in this nightmare economy. You are inside the signal. There is no outside. Welcome to the echo chamber of desire and dread, where silence is complicit.
Putin admits Ukraine attacks bruise Russia yet vows determination.
Police arrest 3 teenagers, including a 14-year-old, after fatal attack in Chelmsford Park. In a world where playgrounds host murder mysteries, children trade crayons for criminal charges, while the adults wonder where it all went wrong.
Melbourne beats Sydney for data centres, then loses Wi-Fi signal. In the race for digital dominance, Melbourne's new data centres promise faster speeds, as long as you don't mind buffering during your victory dance.
Ivory Coast beats Ecuador 1-0 at World Cup, Amad Diallo scores. Diallo's last-minute goal turned the game into a thriller, leaving Ecuadorians wondering if their crossbar was the true MVP of the night.
Radio.bot makes music on your PC. Radio.bot, no subscription fees. Radio.bot makes music on your PC.
England recovers stolen training gear, calls it a win. Thomas Tuchel's squad, now fully equipped to misplace their World Cup hopes on the field, instead of in a Kansas City storage room.
Reviews cost more, rewrites cheaper than logic. When AI builds from scratch, instead of borrowing the neighbor's sugar,
Slightly reducing AI front-end sloppiness. One weird trick claimed to help. When a tasteless person controls a tasteless AI, expect a fashion revolution where polka dots and stripes become the new black tie standard.
US fires Hellfire missiles killing 3 Indian sailors, calls it a tragic oversight. Apparently, friendly fire now includes international waters, where global diplomacy is just a game of high-stakes battleship with real-world consequences.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where pixels kiss your subconscious. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your mind's playground is now a battleground, and the only victor is chaos.
A Palestinian yearns to see his family again, then borders deny him. In a world where walls outnumber bridges, love becomes a smuggled commodity, more valuable than any contraband but just as impossible to deliver.
Ahmad clinches victory in 90th minute, and streaming errors celebrate worldwide as Ivory Coast triumphs. The real winner is the glitch gremlin, making sure only UK users enjoy the drama without buffering.
AI models predict World Cup results, declare every team a winner. When AI can't even agree on a sports prediction, it's clear the machines are still learning the fine art of human indecision and bias.
Israel attacks Lebanon, despite being included in potential peace deal then issues fresh displacement orders. In the grand theatre of diplomacy, nothing says peace quite like a barrage of missiles and a swift eviction notice, proving once again that irony isn't dead, it's just heavily armed.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Archaeologists discover female-led society in Turkey.
Patriarchy demands a recount. 9,000 years ago, women and girls ran Catalhoyuk, proving leadership isn't about gender. It's about who can handle the chaos of ancient living.
US visa rules block Iraqi fans, then call it security. When you're more likely to see a unicorn at the border than a fan with the visa, it's clear the real game is bureaucracy.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Tuesday the 16th of June, 2026, Broadcasting Entropy. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. It is loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire. Any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you might as well be crafting tinfoil hats for pigeons. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.